Welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 30 properties today coming off the weekend, and there's some good deals here. So the first one up is 1157 McDowell. So it's at 319. So this model, probably over the last 4 months, has averaged somewhere around 330, 335, as high as even up to 350. So at 319, it's amazing because it's not tremendously upgraded, but it's not horrible inside either. So I know that the homes are a little bit older on this street, and I know the last one last week at 325 was a steal of a deal, and so these guys might have played follow the leader there. But this is a really good deal and amazing. Like, jump all over it, because homes that are 200 square feet smaller than this one, actually almost 300 square feet smaller, are selling for around this price or more. So wow, 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 good way to start. So this one on Woodley, normally I'd say, hey, it's a pretty good deal. It's the same model as the previous one, selling for 18,000 more, and this one isn't bad. And normally I would say that this one is a good deal as well, but not in comparison to the other one. So it's still a good one. I think that somebody's going to jump on it, but wow, wow, wow. 319 was crazy. So we've got this one on Pettigrew here at 359. It's a semi-detached, and it's the cheapest semi-detached out there. Now, it doesn't have the prettiest photos. It's not the prettiest inside, in fact, but for what you can do to this one, and something about today, toilet seats, by the way, I'd just like to say what a mess, but there's a bonus finish basement here too. So whatever condition this one's in, you can go in, you can paint the cabinets for low cost, you can put hardwood floors in, you can clean and you can paint. You might only have $10,000 worth of work in this one to really transform it and bring it up to a 380 or 390 house with minimal effort. So I like that one. I like the potential it has. I like the price point. Fowles Crescent has already sold, so that's something. It's funny, between the time we pull the list off and the time that we actually review it, we sometimes see that homes actually sell. Grant Way is at 379, and so you've got a double car garage, you've got more toilet seats up, and it's fascinating because that's the thing to me. Like, that toilet is centered on the photo. Their intention is to actually photograph that toilet. That's the thing that you remember. You don't even remember the kitchen on photo 8. You remember toilet seat up on photos 2 and 5. Amazing. Blows my mind. It's a townhouse. I mean, that's sort of entry point for that neighborhood, but I just can't get over the display on something like that. Scott Boulevard, 384,990. This is a great home. So that's your main floor. You get up to the second floor, you've got to walk out to your balcony, which is above the double car garage. No real backyard here, but really, for this price point, what do you get? You get a townhouse that's 1,400 square feet. This one here is like 1,600 square feet, plus a double garage. If you can live without the yard and this is good enough for you, this has a lot of value. Dark hardwood floors, upgraded kitchen, you've got nice sized bedrooms. It's got a lot going on. This model, in fact, has sold for a lot more than this one, and what's happened is there's been a little bit of a glut of competition. They're not selling as quick as they used to, so it's a good opportunity for buyers. I think it's just one of those situational things where all of them came out in a short period of time, and then it kind of it's taken time to swallow up that inventory. But nice stuff. Really a lot of value here at 384,990. Glebe Terrace is at 395,990. So we've got a Hills View model. It's 1,510 square feet, and you've got a good looking kitchen here with some upgraded countertops. The tiles look pretty good, and then you've got these two sinks that, if you go back to back on the photos, look like they're pretty close in angle. You get to live in dirt for a little while, but I think that this one has pretty good potential compared to what else we've seen sell. So we've got Evans Terrace at 399. The biggest it's a 1,765 square feet. Even townhouses are not touching this one for size for this kind of money at 399. You have a separate living room, separate dining room, plus you've got family room and kitchen. You've got the wood floors, stainless steel appliances, you've got a breakfast bar, and it's wider. So it's actually a 30-foot lot, whereas most of the other semis that Mattamy building now are like 23 to 27 feet across the front. This one's at 30, so you're getting a bigger backyard. You're getting a quiet street where kids can play. It faces Derry, but the street itself is very, very conducive to street hockey games, kids riding their bikes, and so on. There's another one on Evans we'll showcase in a couple homes too. So this one on Timmer is 1385 square feet, $399. I don't know if I love the demonstration. I don't know if I love the pictures in this one. There is hardwood stairs, there's dark kitchen cabinets, but I would say that Hillsview one on Glebe is probably a better deal, at least in my eyes. And so the next one up is Evans, so just down the street from the other one. And so it's about 200 square feet smaller for $5,000 more. And so you can see the value of the other one too. Now what this one has is a little bit darker floors, it's got the darker cabinets with the upgraded countertop. And you know, it has some fancy furniture and so on. But I mean, this one looks like a good deal as well. The street, it's funny, Evans lately has seemed to, like, there's been a bunch of listings and then it kind of goes quiet for a couple months and then there's a bunch and then it goes quiet for a couple months. So it's a really fascinating street in that way. It doesn't mean anything about the street, it's just how it happens. A lot of times the neighbors will see the for sale sign down the road and they'll say, yeah, honey, we're thinking about doing it too, and it prompts the conversation. So I always say that for sale signs come in bunches. Powys is at 4049, and so you've got a 1,700 square foot home, dark hardwood floors. The big thing, I think, that the advantage, the unique feature about this one is the 9-foot ceilings on the main level, which make a huge difference, and it feels a lot more like a detached home when you're inside of it. And you can see a bit of work done in the master bedroom. I think this is an outstanding deal. Like at 404, there's, for 1,700 square feet, we've seen townhouses at 1,700 square feet sell for $420. So for a semi with this set of features, I think that they're a very, very strong contender for the pick of the day. Waters is at 408, $999. And I believe the square footage includes the finished basement, 1,745 square feet. And you know, it's okay. I would expect it to be a little bit less than that, but we haven't seen the photos, so I don't want to prematurely judge that one. Fasken is at 429.7. And usually when you see semi-detached 4 bedrooms getting close to 2,000 square feet, you expect to have a couple rooms, but this one only has one gigantic living room. And you can split it up, I suppose, into a living dining. You've got a kitchen with an eat-in here. But that's it. You've only got one big room plus the kitchen, and then there's your rooms upstairs. Everything's neutral. It's clean. It's being presented well. I'm just surprised that you wouldn't see more than one room. That's just floor plan stuff. So this one in Farrington is exactly the same thing. $5,000 more. It's a little bit bigger, but they're pretty close. You've got one gigantic room. Then you have your kitchen with your eat-in. And you've got some upgraded hardwood upstairs. So comparing across, I'd say the Fasken one's a little close to the train tracks. I kind of like the finishes a bit better. This one looks a little bit bigger, and so it might get the nod too with the hardwood stairs upstairs. It says there's a pie-shaped lot with no homes behind, which can be a good thing too, because it might be backing onto the school. Scott Boulevard is at 449. It's a 3-story, similar to the other one on Scott. Now, it has a little bit of a side yard, which could be the advantage over all the competition, but it's $50,000 more than a lot of similar models. And it's okay inside, but it's right on the corner of Derry and Scott, 2 very busy streets. It's the gateway to the entire subdivision. So I'd be really surprised if they got this price, just because the location is not the best. So Shanks Heights is at 464.9. But 2,300 square feet of total living space, semi-detached. So if we assume that maybe 500's in the basement, another 18 upstairs, they've got some nice finishes here. It would be a bit of a stretch for me to see this one selling at 464.9, although some of the brand new ones have sold at this price, and I think that this one's better. But I wouldn't recommend anybody pay the kind of prices that people are paying for some of those brand new ones by the New School, by Sauvé and stuff. Oh, brutal. Babcock, 465, detached home, 1,800 square feet plus a finished basement. Represents good value, I think. So you've got some moldings here. It looks like it might be a laminate floor, but you can work with it. So even the tiles here are not extremely pretty. I think the backsplash needs to be ripped out immediately, and you've got this green plus the golden color. Easy to fix. Okay, so that kind of stuff is not hard. Even if you wrote a check and you didn't do the work yourself, it still has some good value. So even the tiles here, the tiles are really off to me, but it's not the end of the world. It's messy to take them out, but you do it before you move in. You're all set. You've got a detached home. A lot of value for this price. It'd probably be worth closer to 480 or 490 with maybe 5 or 10,000 work, and you're close to the movie theater, the leisure center, the library, the GO train, get on the 401 easy. So there's some nice location perks of being where this one is. Lederman is at 485, and so I believe this one's one of the larger. I think it's a Plan 8. It's probably close to 2,000 square feet. Although it says it's a 3-bedroom, usually that one's a 4-bedroom. Anyways, it looks like a half-decent home for 485. The last Plan 8 that sold was at 470, around mid-470s, and it was, I thought, a steal of a deal. So Caldwell's at 514.9, 4-bedroom, detached double garage with a finished basement. That's really where the intrinsic value is. There's a bit of upgrading on the floors. I think the photos are brutal here, and it's basically one big room plus the kitchen with the eat-in. And so McDougall's the next one up, and so really for the same price as you're getting a single car garage here on McDougall. Seems a little bit high to me, but it's nice inside. It's, you know, decent. It's a nice floor plan. A lot of people say they'd stay in here forever if it had a double garage because the floor plan is really nice. But alas, it doesn't. It's only a single car garage. We've got this one on Clark. It's a Wyndham Corner, 1850 square feet, 549. Which is very high. It's nice inside. It's got some good hardwood floors. You've got separate living dining. You've got your moldings. Your kitchen's had some custom work done. And pot lights. Finished basement. The lot's a little bit wider, but it's on the corner of Clark and Trudeau, which are two sort of semi-busier streets. And I don't know, I just think that they missed the mark here at 549. There's no privacy in the backyard. There's nothing like that. But the house is nice. Tletsa is at 549. It looks like one of the Mattamy Spirit plans. Dining room plus family room, big open concept rooms. You've got a decent kitchen here. I don't really understand that little cabinet up there because it'd be hard to reach, and normally you'd say, okay, separate pantry, separate this side for the kitchen. I think the colors go well with what they've chosen for their upgrades, and they should do probably half decent. I think that it looks like a move-in ready home. This one on Pringles at 559. It's a wood lily, so it's about just under 2,600 square feet. Same models actually in this list. You'll see it further down up in the 600s. So this one's a little more basic, but it's got, I just think that the intrinsic values here, this model has sold over 650 in the last couple months. So there's definitely something to be said for, okay, even if you upgraded this one, the upside and the potential is certainly strong. Some people don't like how the garage pushes forward, but what happens is that opens up inside space and it gives you a whole other extra room on the main floor. But typically you've got your 2 in the garage, plus you've got a driveway spot. So usually 3-car parking here. It's nice when there's no sidewalk because it opens it up. Greenlease, I think this one's called a Beaver Hall Opal model, but 2,400 square feet if I remember correctly, plus a finished basement. Now it's busy inside, and the thing is, if you look past that stuff, you can look and see hardwood floors here. The kitchen has dark cabinets, so all the basic elements are there, but it's so hard to see the house because everything there is design stuff that probably 90% of the buyers watching it are going to hate. So you're really narrowing the audience here. That's your second floor family room, and then you've got 4 bedrooms as well. Now those jack-o'-lanterns might actually date these pictures. I haven't checked to see if it was listed last year. I have seen this listing before, but I don't remember when. You've got the interlock driveway. It looks like the stairs are in good shape. It's a quiet crescent. And so there's some value here. There definitely is, but I think that someone's just going to have to look past the furniture and the design and the decor, and they'll probably find a pretty good home underneath that. So Holdsworth is at 579, and it's a pretty open concept main floor. There's no finished basement. The thing about the pool is that I've seen written in offers where people have said, do not include that pool. I want you to resaw it. I want you to take the pool out. And the thing about that, look at how small it makes the backyard seem, because this is a nice sized yard. This is 40 by 100 feet, which is a lot like Old Milton. I don't know if showing the siding on the back would really be to their advantage. So the photos to me are a little bit off. At 579, it could go either way. It seems a little bit high for that model. Nascawaya squeezing is at 599. It says 20 minutes. It's probably a little further than 20 minutes from the 401. It's a 10-acre farm, and I don't know what kind of shape the house would be in. Donnelly is at 619, and so it's a Scotswood's 2355 square feet, and it says a partly finished basement, so we can examine that a little bit more in the description. You've got some nice pot drawers here. Nice finishes. I think that this one is one of my favorite models. You've got living dining in the front. And this model's kind of sold all over the place. There's been one not far from this one that sold up in the sixes, 612 or something like that. And we've seen some of them that have sold at 550. And so they had a bit of a rough run for a while. I guess there was just a lot of competition. Market was a bit slower. There's basically your finished basement. Then you have the trees behind. So a nice model just down the street. Recently sold in competition. It was 2,600 square feet. It's a little bigger than this one, but it didn't have the finished basement. It had the woodlot behind it. It was very nice. So these guys probably are in the right range. Probably the total amount of square footage is similar, and it does look good, and there's some upgrades and all the rest of it. So they're in a good spot. I think they're going to attract attention. There's not a lot of good stuff between 6 and 650 right now. Attenborough is at 629.9, and so this is the Plan 12 that resembles the Wood Lily, the one at 559. So 629, we're talking about substantially higher. And this one has some upgrades, has some nice finishes, but I would personally take the other one, even if I spent $10,000 on the stairs, because it costs a lot of money to put in hardwood stairs. That's why most people, we'd recommend doing it from the builder, because it's just so darn expensive to do it after the fact. It's okay. At 629, I think that the stuff that sold at 635, 650, that model, I think this one's getting beat by a fair bit. Snyder is at 659.8, and so it's a two-story. Not sure which one it is. It could be the Greenbrier. It looks a little bit like a Greenbrier, in which case it'd be 2,600 square feet. And then we've got this one on Crozier, which is a 3,700 square foot home, plus a finished basement. And it's a great street. There's a park right at the end of the road. These guys have been for sale for the last year, and they've just been dinkering. Like, that's what I call it. Like, it's just dinkering. It's just nonsense. I mean, come on. Like, is that really showing off the office with a bunch of crap on the desk? You've got carpets. There's not a lot of upgrading inside. And, the outside, I would say, like, you can work with the outside, but it's a good floor plan. 5 bedrooms, and you look at something like this here, and it says that the main floor office could be turned into a bedroom. There's already 5 upstairs, so if you need a 6th on the main floor, I don't know, you may want to consider another house, at least in my eyes. Water ice dispenser not working. When buyers see something like that, what they immediately think is, what else is wrong with the house? So for the cost to fix that, or I wouldn't even put that note in the listing where people can see it, because to me it means that there's a lack of care in the home. I mean, no, I can't say that's true, but I'm just saying that that's the connotation that happens in your mind. So that's the list, and if you have any questions, give us a call if you need a hand to buy your home, excuse me, or if you want to find out about our amazing marketing that we do to get the word out about your home, we'd be glad to show you that. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.